So today I thought of reading this wonderful story from this book that we have recently finished, Living with the Himalayan Masters by Swami Rama. This book is all about the journeys that Swami Rama had in the Himalayas, many years spending his time in the Himalayas meditating, meeting masters, some masters whom we know and some who are unknown to us, and we got introduced to them eh, through Swami Rama in this wonderful book. And there are so many stories that happen between Swami Rama and his master. So one such story is a lesson in non-attachment. It's really a wonderful lesson that one has to practice and live. So the story goes like, my master has given me everything, and I could not give anything to him. His devotees used to give him so much money that he did not know what to do with it. I, on his behalf, used to distribute it to others and spend it the way I wanted. Once I told him, I want to go to Bombay. He said, take money, as much as you want. I took 5,000 rupees and I purchased many things, including 3 gramophones. He only said, wonderful, my boy, play them all at the same time. When I played them all together, I could not understand a thing. Lust and greed never satisfy anyone. Lust and greed never satisfy anyone. Desires for possessions increase incessantly and finally become a whirlpool of miseries. Such ignorance cannot be dispelled by going to the temple, worshipping in the church, listening to sermons, or performing rituals. For centuries, human beings have been fulfilling their desires, yet they are still miserable. To attain the ultimate reality, it is necessary to free oneself from the desire for non essential encumbrances. To attain the ultimate reality, it is necessary to free oneself from the desire for non essential encumbrances. Possessing more than necessary only creates obstacles for oneself. It is a waste of time and energy. Fulfilling wants and desires without understanding needs and necessities deviates one from the path of awareness. Desire is the mother of all misery. When the desires for worldly attainments are directed towards attaining self awareness, when the desires for worldly attainments are directed toward attaining self awareness, then the same desire becomes a means. At this stage, the desire, instead of becoming an obstacle, becomes a useful instrument for self realization. I'll repeat this. When the desires for worldly attainments are directed towards attaining self awareness, then the same desire becomes a means. At this stage, the desire, instead of becoming an obstacle, becomes a useful instrument for self realization. This can be explained by a simple simile. A candle light is extinguished by the breeze very easily. But if that light is protected and allowed to catch the forest, it will grow into a forest fire. Then the breeze helps the fire instead of extinguishing it. A candle light is extinguished by the breeze very easily. But if that light is protected and allowed to catch the forest, it will grow into a forest fire. Then the breeze helps that fire instead of extinguishing it. Similarly, when an aspirant, with the help of discipline, protects the flame of desire burning within, it grows more and more. Then all the adversities, instead of becoming obstructions, in fact start becoming means. The obstacles which are supposed to obstruct the path of self realization are not really obstacles. The obstacles which are supposed to obstruct the path of self realization are not really obstacles. Our weaknesses and the values we impose on the objects of the world create these obstacles for us. Our weaknesses and the values we impose on the objects of the world create these obstacles for us. Attachment is one of the strongest obstacles created by us. With the help of non attachment, we can overcome such obstructions. There are four ways of removing these obstacles. The first is, if there is no object, the human mind cannot become attached to it. Renouncing the object is one way, but it seems to be quite difficult for ordinary people. Now, the second way is, while having all the objects of the world, while having all the objects of the world, if we learn the technique of using them as means, then the objects are not able to create obstacles for us. On this path, attitudes needs to be transformed. One who has transformed his attitudes can change his bad circumstances into favorable ones. Now, the third way is the path of conquest, in which one learns to do his actions skillfully and selflessly, surrendering the fruits of his actions for the benefit of others. Such a person becomes detached and safely crosses the ocean of life. Now, the fourth is by self surrender. One surrenders himself and all that he owns to the Lord and leads a life of freedom from all attachments. This path seems to be easy, but is really rather difficult. I'll again repeat these four ways. The four ways of removing these obstacles. The first one is, if there is no object, if there is no object, the human mind cannot become attached to it. Renouncing the object is one way, but it seems to be quite difficult for a normal people or an ordinary people. Now, the second way is, while having all the objects of the world, if we learn the technique of using them as means, that means only when it is required or only when it is necessary, then the objects are not able to create obstacles for us. On this path, attitudes needs to be transformed. The way we look at it has to be transformed. One who has transformed his attitudes, one who has transformed his attitudes can change his bad circumstances into favorable ones. That means we have to change the perspective of how we look at the things. Now, the third way is the path of conquest, in which one learns to do his actions skillfully and selflessly. That means in whatever you're doing it in a skillful manner and a selfless manner. That means you are completely surrendering to it, surrendering to that action. Then surrendering the fruits of his actions for the benefit of others. After you have done these actions, this work, then you have to surrender this action or this work, the fruits of it, for the benefit of others, like a Zen master does. Once his job is done, he silently moves from that place. He will not take anything to him. So, such a person becomes detached and safely crosses the ocean of life. Now, the fourth thing is by self surrender, one surrenders himself and all that he owns to the Lord and leads a life of a freedom from all attachments. This path seems to be easy, but it's really rather difficult, like the monks in the Himalayas who leaves everything and they're just surrender to the Lord. Now, my master, instead of correcting me, my master, instead of correcting me, used to make me aware of the fact that the human mind and heart have changed because of human weaknesses. I used to ponder over any weaknesses and then meditate for self transformation. I used to ponder over any weaknesses and then meditate for self transformation. That means whatever the weaknesses this master is going through, Swami Rama is going through, he just transforms into the favorable one. That means he doesn't let that weakness be an obstacle. Instead, he will learn from it and he will move from it. He will grow from it. He never said, The master of Rama never said to do this and to don't do this, but he showed the path which I started treading all alone. Swami Rama says that learn to walk all alone. Learn to walk all alone. It was a lesson for me. So it's really an interesting story, friends. There are so many keys that Swami Rama had given to us. So the first thing is lust and greed never satisfy anyone. So we should never get lust cannot it need not to be only in the form of sex, but it can be in the form of anything. And the greed of accumulating so many things. I want this jewelry, then that jewelry, or this thing, this property, that property, all these things only leads to suffering. There is no end to it. And once we get caught in that, then then there is only misery. Now the second thing is to attain this ultimate reality. It is necessary to free oneself from the desire for non-essential encumbrances. That means we should understand which is important, we should understand which is not important. We should always have this need and want. We should always fulfill our needs, but not wants. Wants is like, I want this, I want that. But need is like, you're happy with what you have, and this is it. And keeping it very simple and clear. And as we also understood that the obstacles which are supposed to obstruct the path of realization, self-realization, are not really obstacles. Once we have this clarity over our life, or a clarity of mind, then every obstacle that happened in our life in the past, we understand that that itself is not an obstacle. Everything happened for a reason. We start to see things differently. So attachment is one of the strongest obstacle created by us. So we clearly know, friends, if we are attached to anything, any person or thing, if that person is not there, or if that thing is not there, if the same kind of events that you wish to have in your life won't happen, attachment to any event as well is leads only to suffering. So we have to be really mindful about this and practice non-attachment. And here again, Swami Rama says about the fire, about the candle light. If we, the candle light, any breeze can just, let the light go off. But if we preserve that light and we secure that candle light, and take it to the forest and we leave it there, and we see the breeze itself helps that candle, the light or the fire to move on. That means it will become a forest fire. So that should be, our desires should be not for the materialistic things, but our desire should know about ourselves, to to realize our own self. And the last thing, there are so many other things that this Swami Rama had shared about the four ways of removing the obstacles. And lastly, he says that learn to walk all alone. So it is also a lesson for each one of us that we all have to walk all alone. Like when I started meditating, my father-in-law, I still remember that statement. He said that nobody in this world is going to help you. You alone can help yourself. So we alone can help ourselves. We alone have to walk the path. So nobody is going to come and help us, or feed us. They might tell, okay, this way is what is brought good to me. So the choice is all ours to walk the path, or just to sit on a couch and then just be lazy. No. So we have to really be mindful, and we have to really, if we have taken this life, then we have to make our life very meaningful, not just like just staying there at one place, experiencing the same things in the same routine. We have to break the routine, and we have to um, move forward, like Malti ji with we were just talking before. We were saying that how she was asking me how are you today. Then I said better than yesterday. So that should be one's attitude. We have to keep on growing. So we have to better ourselves every day, every moment. So like these lessons, if we put into practice, ultimately we are always in bliss, blessedly bliss. So yes, friends. So thank you so much for being here. And if there is anybody who wants to share or ask anything, you can just go ahead and unmute yourself, please. Thank you, Jaswinderji.
I would just like to add that
Mm-hmm,
it's since I've come into meditation, I had this craze of buying things. I was a shopaholic, literally.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
And over time and the realization, and I think COVID was a real eye opener in which you realize in the 2.5 years there was nothing other than food.
mm-hmm,
There was no need to buy any clothes or anything at all. And it's all so futile when you think of it. Why
mm-hmm,
was I collecting all those things? Or even to give. I love giving as well. I would buy for my sisters, for my nieces. I would buy and keep a lot. And when I would go to India, I would not be able to take everything. So it kept accumulating. So now I'm very strict, and my husband is very happy about it because he does say that someone else can use it. So we have been decluttering a lot these past 2-3 years. And even my trips to India, it's more to even here, whenever I go out, it's very only if I need something I'm buying.
mm-hmm.
And just a realization, and just a better feeling really, rather than accumulating things.
Yeah,
So there's always something or the other we have to learn and improve ourselves.
very true. Thank you so much, Jaswinderji. Thank you for
Thank
coming
you.
up and sharing uh, what is happening in your life. So yeah, that's true. It happened also with me before practicing meditation or before knowing myself actually.
Yeah.
I was just thinking, okay, I have to get this, I have to get that, I have to have this kind of a house or this kind of a clothes and all these things. But
Mhm.
then once I attained this clarity that, oh, these things really doesn't matter. These things that don't last for long doesn't matter. The thing on the the only thing that lasts forever is our self. So, and we have to keep like polishing the self, polishing our own self.
Self, yeah.
So that
True.
is very, very important. Then once you have this clarity, I mean, if it is there, you enjoy it. Doesn't
Yeah.
that it
Yeah.
it doesn't mean that we have to be like a sannyasi, but
Yeah.
if
I
it
think
is
within
not
limits,
yeah,
within limits.
if it is not there also, you have to be happy.
Happy. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, one day, I'll just tell this example. We went to Ladakh in 2016. We went to
Mhm.
Ladakh, and I just when we went there, I removed my Mangal Sutra. Like in South
Yeah.
India, we have a very thick
Mhm.
one, so I kept it somewhere. And when I
Mhm.
came back, I didn't find it. So my dad, when he saw my neck was, empty and I was not wearing any Mangal Sutra, he asked me, "Hey, where is your Mangal Sutra?" I said, "Dad, I don't know. I didn't find it." So he
Mhm.
was like, how he was really stressed, like it's gold, and said it's okay, it's gone. Somebody has taken it or it's gone. Somebody will find it, and they will be happy getting it, or they will be using it for some things, some meaningful things that has to happen in their life. So that was the attitude I was carrying, and since I did not react, and
Mhm.
and later one of my aunts, like, she said, "Hey, before you went to Ladakh, you left this with me." So she gave it to me.
Wow.
Like I completely forgot that I have given to that aunt. And then
And
and once I came back, this thing had happened. So when you really get attached to anything, like I could see my father suffering, not only my father, um my family. And like they everyone, they suffer when they lose something. Or
something, yeah.
like if a car, for example, if you own a car and something happens to that car, you are so much worried, but you don't care about the person who is in the car. Like so like did
Yeah, the
something
first
happen to you?
reaction, yeah.
Is,
Yeah.
oh my god, like again it happened. But we
Yeah.
don't we don't we are valuing things than we are valuing
Mhm.
the people actually. So we have to change the way we look at things.
Things, yeah.
We have to change the perspective. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's yeah. Thank you so much, Jaswinder ji, for sharing.
Thank you. You've got a
Beautiful.
very sweet voice, Madhuji. Very sweet voice. Really.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you. Yes, Usha, please go ahead, Usha.
Hi, Madhu. Hello,
Hi, Usha.
everyone. Madhu, it's a wonderful sharing and, of course, a wonderful meditation, as always. Just wanted to add upon what you have said. Very blessed to be blessed here, rather. Thank you again.
Thank you. Thank you, Usha.
Blissfully blessed. Yeah,
Wow.
thank you.
Wow.
That
Thank you,
was really
Usha.
something which is like, on top of everything.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a bliss or a blessing to be blissfully here. Yes.
Wow.
Thank you.
Thank you, Usha. Thank you so much. Yes. Yes, Varnaji.
Thank you, Madhuji. Beautiful wisdom sharing. I love that. Yeah, attachment is the one thing that we have to keep reviewing and contemplating why we want and what we want and all. The more we look at those attachments, slowly we get the clarity. Even as Jashwinder and you had shared, me also slowly I'm like not attached, because we got like ultimate bliss within us. So
Mm.
what else makes us happy, right? So everything, like we just look at it things, but it's really doesn't make sense, that make give us a happiness. Okay, if you want to buy because you want to replace some kitchen set or something, you buy it, but you should not get attached, like 10 times you have to say, wow, I'm so happy. If we are not getting that feeling, that means it's okay, you have it, you got it, it's okay, that's fine, and again you go back to your meditation. So the ultimate thing is within the inside bliss. So only you get it slowly. Maybe something we are attached, even though we are in this path, something. So go to the 50% of that attachment and see if you is something back, because you controlling is also not good. The more you resist, that persist. So we
Mm.
may say, oh, no attachment to the bag, or no, but it will keep reminding you. Even the meditation also reminds that bag only. So what you do is go ahead and buy that, okay? Buy
Mm.
and keep it, and then meditate. Then you have to. Then after that, that doesn't have any value, and then you may dominate that, or just whatever. It really
Mm.
doesn't make sense. So next time, if there is a bag, then you don't attach, because you learned the lesson. So that's what happened to me. And sometimes I feel like, oh, why didn't I buy? I did not buy because of this detachment concept, but always it bothers me. Oh, I should have bought and enjoyed. Why? Then next time said, okay, let me buy it and be peace, and then I'll give it away, and
Mm.
slowly then I will, I don't even have that attachment on the bag. So slowly I'm detaching. So yeah, we have to see
Mm.
what thoughts are coming within us, and really contemplate on that. And yeah, so it's beautiful. Even for India trip, during India trip, I would be the first one to fully shopping. But this time I thought, no, I have enough, everything enough. Even if I don't have also 2 pairs, also I'll be so happy. My parents are all like worried about me now. Why you used to earlier when I used to go shopping, they used to worry. Now I'm not going to shopping. They're worrying. Oh, you used to shop this time. You didn't do anything, mommy. I have everything, please. I want to empty. So I don't want anything. So that is the state I came. Means slowly we all come, but yeah, important is we have to contemplate what I want and buy, and go 50%. All the don't go all the way and get 50% to try to satisfy. Slowly it will go away. So yeah, I also have to empty. I'm emptying stage. I'm thinking like just fill everything and donate, and then nicely enjoy. Don't even analyze shall I donate or not. You just slow, you know. All these years, like I would clean, try to clean my closet, but one half a basket or half a bag would come out of full closet. But at least I'm contemplating, like, no, I have to give. Then only I'll be so peaceful, so released. I get so relief and I feel lightweight, and you get in deep meditation and you understand what is reality and what you think about bigger things, not little things, right? So, so yeah, thank you very much. So
Thank
sharing,
you.
Madhuji.
Thank you. Thank you, Swarnaji. So here I would like to share also very important point. This is about I heard one person this time I met in India. He used this word renouncing comparison and renouncing jealousy. I mean, here I would like to take the context of renouncing the comparison. So why we get attached to things is because most of the time, if we see, like in my case, when I was in Cairo, when I was in Egypt, living in Egypt, when I was still not into meditation, I was just going out with my friends, and they were carrying a bag, and I come back and I start to think about that bag. Oh, they are carrying that. Oh, they have this kind of a clothes on. Next time I should get this kind of a clothes. So I compare myself to them. So again, it's kind of an attachment to get those things in my life. So we have to renounce that comparison as well. We have to stop comparing ourselves to others. Even if you go to your friend's place, if you see something new over there, appreciate that thing, and only if it is useful for you, bring those things. If it is not useful, and if you're still happy, all these years we didn't have it, and we are happy with it, just because you went to your friend's place, you have seen something, and you like it there, so that doesn't mean that you have to bring it home and do the same like a friend. So when we stop comparing ourselves, then it leads to a great freedom. So we should never compare ourselves to others. So the more we compare, the more we suffer. We have to stop these comparisons, because again, this topic is closely related to attachments as well. Because when we see things, when we go out, we see so many magazines, we see so many property ads. When we keep on looking at it, you compare yourself with many people in those magazines, or like, oh, I have to get this, I want this, I want that. So that kind of attachment is again leading to only suffering. One has to detach, and one has to look things from a different perspective, and always put the right questions in your mind, that is it really important for me? Attachment to an event as well, any kind of events in our life, to have the same repetition, we should not expect that to happen. If it is happening, okay, welcome, but if it is not happening also, you have to be happy. So we have to change the way we look at things, and we look at the events, and we look at the people, and you have to just be happy. So thank you so much. Thank you so much, Swarnaji, for sharing. Wonderful, wonderful to hear of what you're going through. Thank you so much.
Madhu,
Yeah.
it's me,
Yes,
Smalti.
Malati.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What you just said now about comparison,
Mhm.
there was a time when I used to do that with a friend of mine who always used to be dressed like she's just walking out of a magazine.
Mhm.
Okay. And when I went out with her, I used to feel, my God, look at her, and look at me, the way I am dressed. Okay.
Mhm.
Absolutely no comparison at all. And I used to feel fairly bad, not very bad, but I wish I was like her. I wish I knew where she bought all these clothes from, or that handbag from, etc. But she never would say where she's bought it from. Never,
Mhm.
because she doesn't want anybody else to have the same stuff.
Mhm.
And slowly, slowly, I started to realize, honestly, and also with things in the house. I used to, not another friend, a very close friend, Malaysia, is like a sister. Hers is a modern house, and mine is a 30s house. But when I used to go to her house, she has got all this modern, even from the fire in the lounge, it's a very modern type of fire, everything. And I
Mhm.
used to think, oh, I must also have that in my house. And suddenly, one day, I sat down and thought, what am I doing here? Why am I doing this to myself?
Mhm.
Hers is a different type of house, mine is a different type of house. Why should I have the same type of things? And
Mhm.
that was the changing point. I said, no comparison of anything.
Mhm.
I do the way I think is okay for me. Let them do the way they think it is okay for them. Okay. And
Mhm.
then also the comparison with people. When you get too attached to people, that's when you get hurt very much, when things go wrong. But if you have detachment does not mean you don't care about the person. You still care about the person, but you're not emotionally involved with the person, you know. And when you're not emotionally involved, you don't start giving meaning to whatever they said or whatever they did to you and everything. It doesn't really matter. Okay. We say that's the way it is. It doesn't really matter. It will never affect me. And you become very detached. You start to take a step back and say, no, I'm not going to do this.
Mhm.
And I slowly, slowly, through my long term meditation and everything, I started to learn that. Okay.
Mhm.
Now, if anybody says anything, I'm not worried or bothered about. Okay. I'd say, let them say it. That's their problem, not mine. Okay. I am what I am.
Mhm.
And I'm not going to change for anybody.
Wow.
Right. And I'm happy within myself for what I am now. And as you said, the attachment sometimes brings a lot of pain, actually.
Mhm.
Lot of pain, lot of jealousy, you know, and that is something, that kind of attachment has to go.
Mhm. True. Wow. Your words like they are like flowing, Maltiji, and it's so beautiful, so wonderful to hear your experiences with examples. Wonderful of what you had gone through in your life and what you're implementing in your life. So we all take a great inspiration from you. Thank you so much, Maltiji.
Thank you, Madhu.
Yeah. Yes, Darshna.
Um, Thank you, Madhu. I would like to say that I totally agree with Ushaji, what she mentioned about you, that you have such a beautiful voice. It's like, it should not end at all. You should keep reading and reading, and it should not stop. Even when you were having those sessions on Mata Sita,
Mm.
yeah, even I used to keep my work aside and I used to attend that. So thank you so much. Like, we are so blissfully blessed. So thank you so much. And
Thank
I
you,
also
Darshna.
agree with Swaraji and also with Maltiji. I would just like to add that our attachment to any things or people or event is all about the craving or attachment to the emotions that bring, that item or that event or the person. So we are more attached to having that emotion or to that feeling. And in my opinion, when we do meditation, we become more neutral to our attachments, or no, we become more neutral to our emotions, whether it is good or bad or whatever. And as we are more attached to those emotions, and we become more as we become more detached to those emotions, we become more detached to the things.
Mm.
So I think underline it, when we think in our physical world that we are getting detached to the to certain events and the things and so on, like one of the example was shopaholic things and so on. But in my opinion, the underlying process is that we are detaching from the emotions that this, the shopping is bringing to us in this example.
Mm.
And hence we are getting detached from the things. So this was one aspect. Another aspect from Dr. Venn Dyer, he says that everything in the universe is in infinity.
Mm.
Whether you go with the small tumbler or you go with the truck, you can take as much as you want.
Mhm.
So in other words, when we think that we are connected to the universe,
Mm.
so that means that we have access to infinity, so everything is available to us. So
Mm.
that means deep inside we are so much content, then we don't have to have more. When our tummy is full, we don't feel like to add more, but when we are hungry, we
Mm.
just have to have anything whatever comes our way.
Right.
So when we are connected with the universe, we are so content because everything is available to us in infinity, nothing is in scarcity,
Mm.
and we don't crave for anything, and we are just as it is. And then we are not craving for the physical things or events or people.
True. Wonderfully said,
So
Darshana.
just wanted to share my analysis when you were saying this. I was especially with Dr. Venn Dyer. So this
Mm.
is what I wanted to share.
Yeah. Thank you so much. We already had enough. That means we are we are
Yeah,
we are full actually, and we
yeah,
don't have to strive more to fill ourselves, because once the pot is already full, then what will you fill in? So there is
yeah,
nothing to fill in, right? So that's true. Yeah, we have to be content with what we have, and we have to realize that we are complete in ourselves. We don't need anything or any person or any situation to complete us. We are in itself is complete. So one have to come to that realization. And thanks to Dr. Wayne Dyer. Thank you
yeah.
so much, Darshana.
And one more thing, when we are content, we feel so happy. From my recent experience, we don't have any complaint or any criticism or whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, we just feel, it is like, yeah, we can't define that happiness, but we are just happy
Mm.
with the situation, with the life, with everything. We don't crave anything more.
Mm.
And one more thing, when you said that, for between two events, we feel that other event should also be like the previous one,
Mm. Mm.
but everything is impermanent.
Yeah.
Things are constantly changing. So, and also it comes also with the comparison, because everyone is going through different journey,
Mm.
and hence everyone is experiencing different experiences in their journey. So we
Mm.
cannot compare at all, because everyone is their own path and they are getting as per their karmas.
Yeah, it's true.
So,
Thank you so much, Darshana.
thank you, Madhu.
Beautiful. So
Yeah,
is it
one more
Alaji?
thing I want to.
Yes,
Oh,
yes,
sorry,
Swarnaji.
sorry,
Please go ahead.
Smita.
Go ahead, Swarnaji. Yeah, please go
Yeah.
ahead.
So the way to detach from anything is just don't look at any something that we know that some material thing. We go to shopping. We used to do. I especially me used to do window shopping. So now you just go for a purpose and come back. So that way you are slowly you are teaching your mind that you are not unnecessarily attached to anything or mind to putting any energy to anything. So
Mm.
that one I noticed. So yeah, even for just a time pass, or just to have a look at it and all, as soon as you look at it, our mind will know that, will imprints that picture in the mind, even though you may not be thinking, but the picture is painted in the mind, and next time it will remind, oh, you saw that one, remember, like that. So the less we exposed to those things, only look at the things that is needed, necessary things. So that's the one way we can slowly go away from these things.
Yeah.
So that's one point I wanted to
So
mention, and I'm I'm implementing that, and I can see myself from compared to before to now. So yeah, as you said, like if you have something, you enjoy it, okay, don't accumulate, but if it is there, you enjoy. But if something is bothering you or attaching with that thing or a person, then definitely we have to take a look at it, why it is attached. So either you have to get rid of that. So to me nowadays, like if something is reminding in my meditation or keep on coming, some clothes or jewelry, that means that is the time I need to get rid of that clothes. So that way you are peaceful. So that is the one way also for us to clean up.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just wanted to mention that I practice those. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Vanaji. So here again, I'll go back to the reading what Swami Rama had done, and where he shared about his personal experience of how when he experiences weakness in his life, if he has any kind of weakness, and like for a weakness can be towards the materialistic things or to the people, or weakness can be some kind of fears or anything that is making us not ourselves, then he used to meditate so that he transformed that weakness into some strength. He does it for the self transformation. So he will learn that weakness, and as you told, why is it bothering, and then like why I'm seeing this kind of a jewelry or these kind of clothes. You have this kind of understanding within yourself, and you transform it to your strength, that you are no more attached to those things or to anything, to any situation or people. So yeah, it's really a wonderful tool. Any time in our life, if we feel anything that is bothering us, any, that means we are not within ourselves. That means we are somewhere else. For example, we are with that jewelry that we have seen in that store or some ad, or we are stuck with that person who is not with us, and and we are craving for that person, or we are craving for that thing. So that means we are not completely with ourselves. The whole uh, the whole the reason why we are here on this earth is to realize ourselves, not to get stuck with these things, not to get attached to these things. And anytime in our life we are stuck, then we have to contemplate upon it, and we have to meditate upon it, so that we can win over that weakness. That means we have a clarity over that weakness, and we understand what Darshana ji had shared about the impermanence. Nothing is permanent. So just we let go of that thing, and we just move on. So nothing should bother us. We should always experience freedom. And yes, in life we go through lot of fears or lot of weaknesses. Then again, we have this strong tool. We don't need anybody's support. We just have to meditate, and then we have to find our own answers. So thank you so much, Fanaji. Mridlaji, yes, Mridlaji.
I'm listening to the beautiful shares, Madhu, and the story you read and everything. So I wanted to share something of my personal experience. So about 30, 40 years ago, in my 20s and 30s, I was feeling kind of inside. I didn't have joy. I didn't have self-love. So I would go and buy things because they brought joy. Like Darshana said, there's a feeling attached to that. So if I saw a dress, even if I didn't have any money or funds, I would make it happen where I go get that thing and it would bring me so much joy. But then I realized a few weeks later that joy is gone because the joy isn't in the dress, later, I came to know. So that would happen over and over again. I would think that this thing, well, it doesn't matter, dress, jewelry, you know, whatever that thing is, I brought it to bring that joy feeling, that good feeling. But as I said, that good feeling doesn't last with that object. And then later I realized, I moved houses. Whenever I move houses, I again, when my 30s and 40s, then a few years later, um, I don't want to throw away the things because there's attachment to those things with the emotion. And then we become hoarding, from one house to another house, we carry the past with us. My cousin, one time he moved, he only took the clothes. He left everything in the house, the furniture, everything. And I asked, he said, at one time in your life, he asked me to do that, leave everything and go start fresh. But I think we get so attached to, even like I have a table now, I'm looking at it. I'm in my study. And that table is from my apartment from the year 2000, maybe, not even 2000, 1996, 97. I still have that table. So, but the thing is, I mean, it's functional. If it wasn't functional, like some of the things are not functional, we still don't let it go. We're attached to that feeling from that year. So it is, I think it is emotional, a lot of the attachment. Some of you are mentioning comparison, but for me, this has been my experience. And in friendship, there's a cute little quirky movie. It was nominated for an Oscar. It's called Banshees of Inisherin. And it's a movie that takes place in Ireland. People think we're attached to husband and partner, but some of us who don't have husbands and partner get attached to friends. And so these are two men who are friends with each other. One friend suddenly decided not to be friend with the other person. And the feeling of that not wanting to be friend with the other person is so strong. He says, I'm going to cut my fingers off if you come near me. Do you know what that's how strong it was. And the other friend couldn't understand, how can this friend be like that when I love him so much? And the movie goes on, but see how much attachment they develop. He realizes that in the end, that he should not have this much attachment to a friend or anyone. Because of his joy was his friend, his good feeling was his friend. But the friend changed. Why the friend changed? Nothing to do with this other friend. Do you know what I mean? Things happen in life. So over the years, I've learned that the joy is not in things or holding on to things. The joy is always within us. It has nothing to do with objects or things or outside things. And when my spirituality greatened, and then meditation helped so much. And then being attached to people, sometimes people just detach from you and you don't know why. But if that's what they're doing, we have to let them go and let them come back when they want to. In the past, I would feel bad about it. But now I think, well, maybe they need that time for something else. So these are the things in my life that I've experienced a form of attachment through meditation. I've learned that, I think we think, what did I do? But it has nothing to do with what we did or what we feel. These emotions come and go, and everything is already in us. We don't need to be attached to something external, person, place, or thing, because all the things are within us. That's why, that post where wherever you're happy, if you're happy inside, you're happy everywhere. A long time ago, a friend gave me a book, wherever you are, there you go, meaning it doesn't matter where we are. We're gonna, some people want to go on vacation because they feel bad here, But vacation is not going to help feeling good. You know what I mean? It's, wherever you are, that's how you feel. So it's all within us, Madhu, like you just said. I think you read somebody's, the more we meditate, the more we realize we are full. And it is probably a weakness in us, like someone mentioned. The more full we are, we won't need. And honestly, I'm watching this show, where it's a show of there's a lot of death there. And then you realize in death, we can't take anything with us, Madhu. We cannot. So what happens to all these things?
Correct.
What happens to the attachment? Sometimes after my father passed away, he did so much in his life. He gave so much. He accumulated so much, but he couldn't take anything with him, and even the attachment to us, his children, all that experience, all that thing ends, they may be lingering, but I personally, this is my personal feeling. Not everybody has to feel this way. But I think once the duty is done, it's done. You do your thing here on this earth, you fulfill your commitment, and all the attachments are over. I really feel like that. I know some people feel like the people are still there, but this is my own personal feeling. Not everybody has to feel that way. I feel like my father duty on this planet as my father is done. I think he moved on either to a next life or doing something else in a different dimension.
Right.
I feel like, once we're done on this planet, we're done actually. I don't think we get a good feeling that, oh my gosh, they're still with us. But I transcended beyond that, Madhu. I don't know. And I don't know if that's good or bad or, whatever it is. I feel like that now. But you asked me 10 years ago or 20 years ago, I would have said, no, my feelings would have been different. And this came through meditation. So I know probably many won't agree, but that's okay. This is just my feeling I'm sharing.
You have shared it perfectly, Mridulaji. Thank you for coming up and sharing. This is also very important topic of not getting attached to our loved ones who had moved on or went to the other worlds. So it is a very important lesson that it's a very important practice that one have to do. Not getting attached to our loved ones, because the one which you were sharing about the friends before, the story of the movie of these two friends. So that other friend have given power of his to his friend. That's why he end up in suffering. So we should never give our power to somebody else. That means to any person or an event or anything. That's when we become powerless and we start to suffer. We have to have the power in ourselves, and we have it, and we have to recognize it. And the more we give the power to other people or things, then we always end up in suffering. So this is one thing uh, from the story that you have shared. And the other thing is, right from our childhood, uh, since we were so small, my mom used to read so many stories in the night to us. And one of such stories, or the moral of the story is that she always tells us to give the things to others what we like. For example, like if you like something, and if somebody comes and says that, hey, I like it, so you have to give those things. It's not kind of a sacrifice, like it's not that you're sacrificing it to somebody else, but she's letting us understand about this concept of detachment. It's not getting attached to those things, because she made us clear from early childhood that that nothing is permanent. And instead of giving anything, just anything, you should give to the one who liked those things. Then that is the real detachment. You're really detaching to that thing in a loving manner, instead of having this idea in your head that I'm sacrificing this for you. No, how can you sacrifice? No, that again, sacrifice is again leading to suffering. Somewhere you are not happy with what you're doing. That's why you say sacrifice. No, sacrifice is very wrong. So we should not do it. But instead, we have to lovingly give the things that we like to someone who have asked us or who have said this is nice. So give the best of what you have than just giving just anything. Even when we donate things, we give, okay, these things, okay, this has broken, or this cloth I'm not using and it's torn, so let me give it to somebody else. Like, we should not do that. We should always give things uh, in such a way that the things that we would like to receive, like even in a donation, in a donating thing, you have to give it the best, not just anything. Yeah, so this is right from our childhood. We've been learning this from our mom, and we kept it into practice. And yeah, so thanks to my mom. So yeah,
Madhu,
thank you.
Madhu,
Yes,
while
Maltiji.
saying this, um, at the moment, I just, if my sons, I find that they need money and they're not asking, I just give it to them. Okay.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
And and I tell them it's only money. Don't no, I have no really attachment to that money.
mm-hmm,
Okay.
mm-hmm,
And I'm within myself, I'm happy that I was able to help them. That might be a selfish thought because I'm
mm-hmm,
thinking about myself.
mm-hmm,
But I don't know. I've just started doing that now.
mm.
The other day, my son couldn't go to work. He's doing locum job, so he lost money for 4 days. I gave it to him. Take it. Okay. He didn't
Mm,
ask, but I just gave it to him.
mm,
Right. And that's what I have become now. I'm
mm.
not attached to money.
Wonderful. Wow. Thank you so much, Malteji, for sharing. Yeah, it is very, very important. And friends, this is also very important lesson that we have to practice, that when we are giving something to somebody, like for example, money, somebody asks you money and you give it, and always remember that don't expect it to come back. Give it in such a way. Ram always speaks that I don't expect that they will return that money. My wish or my thought is to give them the money. I don't expect that they will return. So one has that is a real detachment. Yeah, you just have to give, not expecting anything in return, whether they give it or not. It is their choice. So yeah. So thank you so much, Maltiji. You're doing wonderful. Yeah.
Madhu,
Yes, Darshna.
can I share one more point
Please go ahead.
about the Mrudulaji, what she mentioned? That when she moved from one place, or someone from her brother or cousin or friend moved from one place to the other, he took only
Mm-hmm,
the clothes.
mm-hmm,
Similarly, Dr. Vendar also, when he moved from the US to Bali, he just took his books and everything else he left there,
mm,
again to be detached and not to have any attachment to his belongings or whatever he has accumulated, and so on. And what you mentioned, that what your mom taught you, that to give away what you like,
mm-hmm,
and that is to give away very happily. I think in Dr. Venn Dyer's teaching also, it is somewhere mentioned where he taught this to his kids when he was constantly wearing the favorite T-shirt of his son,
mm-hmm,
just to teach him
Mm.
that how he should be able to say that, okay, now dad, it's yours.
mm. Yeah.
So how to give away your favorite thing and not to have attachment to this, and again to continue with the attachment only. One more point. As human beings, after our certain education and so on, we have two options. One that we go sannyasa, and another one we get into sansar. So we get married and we start other things and so on, or else we just go to the different path and we take sannyas. But when we take sannyas, we leave everything. But when we are in sansar, we just accumulate and we have lot of attachments and so on. But while being in sansar, and we keep our keep ourselves detached from the things and the people and the event and all kind of other cravings, I think to get nirvana is more easier, because the detachment is the main hindrance to get nirvana. And that is also, like, many people are not able to live that body because they are so much detached to their body, or whatever the connections or the attachments that they had. Those
Mm,
who have less attachment, I think for them it is easy and smoother to live their body. So I think to for our spiritual progress also, though we are in sansar, we have not taken sannyas.
mm,
It is important. It is, I would say, beneficial to be, I would say, to think
mm,
selfishly. That helps us to progress faster
mhm.
into on our spiritual path.
Right. Beautiful. Thank you so
No.
much, Darshana. Yeah,
And
as Patricia always put this point,
yeah,
sansar mein nirvan. You have to attain enlightenment being in this world, not renouncing this world. So you don't have to be a sannyasi in the Himalayas. You have to be a sannyasi in this world, living a
being
normal
insensitive.
family life. So this is the highest enlightenment that one has to experience. That being, it's like a drop on the lotus leaf. How that drop is. It is there, but it is not attached.
Yeah, yeah.
So one has to be in that state. So thank you so much, Darshana. And I really like Wayne Dyer, and
Mm.
regarding this thing, what you have shared. I There is a beautiful line from this great poet Hafiz. Dr.
Mm.
Wayne Dyer speaks about him in this movie called The Shift. He says that Hafiz says that after all these times, the sun never says to the earth that you owe me.
Yeah,
After all these times, the sun never says to the earth that you owe me. So that means without sun, there is no life. But the sun never asks the earth, hey, show me some gratitude. No, because it just does. So one has to be in that state. One has to just be like that sun, just to give the light. That's it. And not expect anything. That light can be in any form or anything. Yeah. So thank you so much, Darshana, for bringing this.
thank you, Madhu.
Yeah.
And I'm
Thank
really enjoying these sessions, and every session I really learn every time something new. And now I've decided that in every session I will sit with the book and the pen, and I will note down everything. So it will, sometimes it is to refer when we are not centered,
Mm,
as a self
yeah.
help.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is
Good.
so actually valuable, and many a times when we hear, uh, we remember and we say, yes, 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 it's important, it's valuable, it is relevant to my life or my current situation. But in couple of days, maybe it is forgotten, I believe.
Mm,
So just to re-refer and so on, so I've just decided to do that.
mm, good. Good. That's
yeah.
Thank you, everyone. Beautiful, beautiful takeaways from today's discussion and from everybody's experience. So, yeah, even one of the story that is bringing me, Madhuji, is like in a Kathopanishad, the Nachiketa's father was doing some
Oh,
yaga, and in
yes.
the yaga, he was giving away the old ones, not the animals or the things that he was giving away. So the Nachiketa asks his father, he notices, because you supposed to sacrifice everything you have, not the old ones or not used ones. So that is the attachment, I believe, from this discussion. And then he teaches to his father that the first will be everything. So
Beautiful.
thank you very
Yeah, this is also very important story of Nachiketa and his father, the king, who just gives to the Brahmins of that kingdom the cows, because the cows that he was giving to them was the old cows, or the cows which are of, like, which are not giving milk, or it's of no use, like he was giving to that people, or to that Brahmins in that kingdom, so that he wants to lessen that burden of having those cows there. But Nachiketa says that if it's a burden for you, then it is also burden for them. Being a king, how can you give those things to those poor Brahmins? So one has to give the ones which brings benefit to others, not just anything. So yeah, wonderful, Swarnaji. Thank you for bringing this as well. Yeah. So again, this king was having a lot of attachment towards like the possessions, or the things that he wants to have it, and he wants to give away, let go of those things which are of no use to him, so that it can be a burden to somebody else. So yeah.
Yeah, Madhuji, beautiful, beautiful. And we can test every point if we are attached with that thing or not. If somebody's asking, or if you are not able to give something, means you are attached, definitely attached. And,
Sure.
we have to just be there. Yeah, it's there, it's there. If it's not there, also okay. If we are getting that kind of feeling, that is the I think that's the balanced state, and that is the sthita prajna state, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if we are like, oh no, 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 I think I will give something else, not this one, means uh, it's okay, but it's not. You have to get into that level state one day or other day.
Yeah.
That is a true state.
True.
So yeah,
And
thank
I
you.
would thank you so
Mm.
much, Swanaji. And I would also share one more point of what Maltiji had shared about her friend who was always dressed well. And when asked her, where did you get this from? She was not sharing, like this lady was not sharing where she got those things from, because she wants to be in the limelight. So that kind of things are also kind of attachment. So if somebody asks us something, it can be anything, like if somebody is asking us to share something or a knowledge they want to know more, we have to keep sharing. For example, if you have any kind of a recipe, there should be no secrets. There should be no, oh, no, 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 I'll not share this because it's my secret recipe, or no, 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 I'll not share this because it's you are not in that state to receive. No, we should drop all these things and we should just share. That's it. And even that thing also brings kind of a attachment, and
One
leads us to suffering. Whatever we have to share it. May it be the knowledge, may it be the money, may it be the time, may it be the skills. We have to keep sharing. So in that way, you are not attached to those things. You are just sharing. And the more you share, the more you get. And the idea is not to get, but the idea is to share. Yeah.
True, Madhuji. And oneness. What is mean by oneness, right? If I have that thing or she has the same thing, so why are we not holding on to that? And yeah, that's a really good point that you mentioned. We always talk about oneness, but when we show oneness, it's really challenging,
Yeah.
especially money. But I was like, I noticed when I went to India, whoever gives money, they give. Okay, if you want to give. If others give. If you should not be like, oh, I have to give. If you have so much grudge, I have to give, that means something is attached again. Okay, so I always would use, okay, this is a vasudeva kutumbam. Okay, if you give, you give. If I have access to my purse, I will give. Usually India, we have, right, that
Mm.
kind of tendency. But we are in this spiritual, after meditating, you drop that slowly. Doesn't matter who gives. If you have, you give. If they have, they give. you know um, with selflessly you do it. How I think somebody mentioned that, yeah, I think Maltiji, she started giving money to his son. So it should be like fun, it should be so happy to share money or things. So yeah, beautiful. Meditation is teaching us everything. Oh my gosh, it's like really transforming us from in and out, in and out. Thank you so much
Thank you
for
so
this,
much.
Madhuji and everybody. Great, great sharing. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Madhu,
Yes, Arshna. Yes, please go
um,
ahead, Arshna.
Madhu, I have a question again
Hmm.
related to the reading that we had in the beginning. Should
Hmm.
I ask you offline or should I ask you right now?
As you like. If it is bringing any benefit to others, yeah, we
Yeah.
can go ahead. Yeah.
So for
Otherwise, it's
I think
personal. Then yeah.
no, it is not personal. It is again
Hmm.
related to the reading that we had in the
Hmm.
beginning.
Hmm.
You mentioned even you emphasize also later that uh, the so I'm not able to reproduce exactly the same, but to the essence was that we have to make something which is not good into good, unpleasant into the pleasant, right? If I
Yeah.
understood it correct. Uh,
Mhm.
could you please explain that? So I didn't understand it all.
Yeah. So here it says that I'll repeat this so that you will understand. Desire is the mother of all misery. When the desires for worldly attachments or worldly attainments are directed towards attaining self awareness, then the same desire becomes a means. That means whatever you feel that it's an obstacle, you start to, change it to like a good thing into your life. For example, in my case, Darshana, I would like to take this example in my life. Before having the clarity in my mind, I was in suffering. That means when a miscarriage happened to me in my life in 2009, I was literally in suffering. I was thinking, oh, this bad thing had happened to me in my life. Why did this thing happen to me? But once you have the clarity, once you meditate and you bring the clarity to you, you understand that everything happens for a reason. Even that thing which is not favorable to you at that point of time becomes a great favor.
Yeah.
So if that thing wouldn't have happened, I wouldn't have come into meditation. So anything in our life that is happening, so we have to be even a good thing or not good thing is happening, we should accept it and embrace it, and not just saying that, oh no, this thing should not happen to me. So the suffering is our choice. Pain is
Hmm.
inevitable, but the suffering is our choice. If the not good situation is happening to you, whether it completely depends on us whether we should be still, or we should be, get carried away by those things and thinking over and over again, and
Hmm.
spoiling the whole thing, and
Got
losing this
it.
present moment. So that is what this master is saying. So
Oh,
like anything which you think it's a misfortune, or it's not at all right in our life, can be a great thing. So that can only happen when we understand with a clarity of mind. So
hmm.
without clarity, without a higher perspective, we will never understand of whatever is happening in our life, whatever good things or bad things that are happening in our life, we can never understand it.
Oh,
So yeah,
yeah. Got it. Thank you. Thank you so much.
it's the same thing like the example had given, right? So it's like a candle light, and then the fire, so higher understanding is like that forest fire, it's like once you have lit it, there is only understanding, it will never stop.
Yeah.
But if you don't have any understanding towards it, it's just like, okay, it turns off. So you will never understand it. So that is the why the key is to shift the way you see at your desires, like instead of desiring for the worldly things, desire for self awareness, self knowledge, and self satisfying. So when we change our desires towards these things, then there is no suffering at all. Then it will be like a forest fire. It will be ever lit and ever growing,
Never ending. Yeah.
never ending. Yeah.
Understood.
Yeah.
Thank you so. Even
Thank you
the
so.
suffering part, now I'm able to really see the difference. That when we are just craving for things and how we suffer,
Mm-hmm.
and when we are content, then how the blissful life is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
True.
True. Thank you so
Thank
much,
you so
guys.
much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Madhu, I want to add one more thing.
Please, Madhulaji.
So, Wayne Dyer is one of my favorite. I've listened to pretty much all of his sessions. They used to come on TV here, 3-4 hours at a time. And he did denounce everything, not just to Bali. When he lived here, he apparently lived in an apartment with, just his daily clothes.
Mm-hmm.
He renounced everything.
Mm-hmm.
But renouncing, as you mentioned, doesn't mean you give up family or you still have relationships.
Mm-hmm.
It's the key, and it's difficult, but that's what we're, through meditation, we hope to get there. But one of my favorite quotes of his, Wayne Dyer, is when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change.
Yeah.
I memorized it from the minute I heard this, maybe 25, 30 years ago. And
Yeah.
and this isn't his original saying, it's somebody else. I think it's his he followed, I think it's Neville Goddard who said that originally.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody else said that, but Wayne Dyer made it more public and we associate with him.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's somebody else that he followed. His teacher said that one time, but we don't know that person. We only know Wayne Dyer. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, so every time I get trapped into things, and I always remind myself, like, if I change the way I look at it, that will change. And it's
Very true.
true, because we only think in our perspective. If we think in a different perspective, that thing will change. That's why, I put in that small thing. It really touched me, because if a version of 5 years ago is 2018, if we knew how we are today, we will think differently, right? We don't know. Looking back, if we could experience how we are today, we will think differently of ourselves. We will look at ourselves being so proud and so happy and so full of love, right? I mean, how we came to today. So just like that, we just have to be in a place of love all the time, and it's really, really hard. But hopefully through meditation we can all reach through this place of love, because when you look with the place of love, everything changes. All the attachments, jealousy, anger, everything changes.
True.
But we're all getting there. That's what we're here in meditation. Yeah, see, if the version of you from 5 years ago could see you right now, they'll be proud of you, right? All the stuff. Imagine all of you right now, 5 years ago, where you were, and right now where you are. How proud, how happy and joy and proud, that will keep you going for the next 5 years. Right? We don't think, but back, when we think backwards, we think of the memory, but we never think of the timeline of all the things we achieved. All the things that we achieved in our growth. So we can look at it like that too. So this saying of Wayne Dyer's, when you change the way you look at things, the
Things
things
change.
change. I love it. I love that. So I just wanted
Beautiful.
I'm a fan of
Beautiful.
Wayne Dyer.
Yeah.
So that,
Thank you.
yeah. Darshana's a fan too, I can tell. I'm a fan too.
Me too.
Madhu
Yeah.
and Mrudulaji, I want to say something. I would like to take opportunity to thank Mrudulaji, because Mrudulaji, shares wisdom on
Quotes.
our, yes, and all of them are really gems. So I stopped reacting to them, but whenever it is from Mrudulaji, of course I read all the posts, but especially with whatever comes from Radulaji, I really cherish them. So thank you so much for this.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, no, I don't expect reactions. Just everyone,
So
even
I'm just
if
sharing
you.
my, like, I feel so grateful. So I'm just sharing my
Thank you, thank you.
gratitude to
I
you.
love that. I love that more than the daily. It's hard. The thing is, I know it's touching everyone. I know it. I can feel it. And if I don't have anything to share, that's something I think is not coming. Still, something comes to share, meaning that it's needed for our lovely Beam family.
That's right.
And and I really, gratitude is everything, and I really appreciate that you're appreciative. It helps me to hear it. But if I see that it only if it touches somebody and there's a reaction, that has more meaning than something just, so but I do appreciate you expressing that. That it fills my heart. Thank you.
Especially this 5-year-old version and so on. I think it was shared yesterday or day before. I think very recently, right? Uh,
Because
so
I also thought of myself 5 years ago. 5 years ago, I was in another city. I
yeah,
was not happy with what I was doing. And now I'm in a different city. I've changed, a whole bunch of things. And it's not the same. It's not the same at all. And when the growth that I've experienced is not the same at all. So that somehow touched my heart. So I'm glad it touched your heart too.
yeah, you are very inspiring. Thank you so much, and thank you, Madhu, for giving me this opportunity by adding me into this group. Every single day, I'm so grateful to you.
Thank you so much, Darshana. I'm happy that you're happy.
Every single day, really. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, Mridulaji, for your selfless love towards all of us, and it's really amazing. Thank you so much, and thanks to entire Beam family that how we all support each other in all the times. So thank you so much. Some people might express, some people might not express, but we all know that they're all watching and growing. So thank you so much. Thank you, Milaji. Special
Madhu,
thanks.
Thank you,
Madhu,
Mother.
I just want to add one more thing, right? My father, he was like a patriarch of the family, and he looked after not only his family but his extended family financially and giving advice and everything. And when he passed away, he had left a letter for to my brothers and myself saying that you're all in a better position. You should help people who are less fortunate in the family. That is your duty. And that would make me very happy.
Mm, mm. Wow, that's so kind of your father that not only thinking about his close family, but he's thinking about the relatives and whoever in the rest of the family who are in need. We need to support them. So wonderful. So this is where we have to come out of this attachment towards family as well, thinking that this is only my family and that is not my family, and okay, Africa is not my country, India is only my country. Attachment towards anything is, again, as we said, it leads to suffering. And it is we have to help everybody, not everybody in our neighborhood, everybody is in our society, everybody in our country, and everybody in rest of the world. We have to just help and serve. That is how we get closer to the divine. So thank you so much, Maldiji, for sharing about your father's experience. So thank you so much, friends. Wow, today we had wonderful sharings, and I have learned a lot from this book, Living with the Himalayan Master. So I'm going to, whenever I find some empty slot, so there I'm going to take up on a one story from this book, and it's nice to share and learn in this manner. So thank you so much, friends, for being here, and we'll all see each other again tomorrow morning for Master Shashank's session. Till then, have a lovely night or a lovely day. Namaste to all.
Thank you
Thanks,
for giving me the
love
opportunity.
your
Thank you.
voice.
Thank you, Murlaji.
Your voice is so sweet. Everybody loves it's. We can listen to everybody with the stories, but when you tell the stories, there's something so soothing. We feel like it's a bedtime story, when so comforting. What I'm
Please
saying.
don't sleep.
I did. That's what I didn't mean it like I realized that. That's what I mean in the. How when you're little,
Yeah,
we
I know.
stories. It's so comforting to sleep. We're not sleeping, but I'm talking about the comfort level. It's like we remember
Got
that.
it. Yeah.
Comforting it, not sleeping, Madhu. No.
Yeah, I'm just joking.
I know.
Making it light. Thank you. Thank you, Murlaji.
Your voice is very good. So, yeah, thank you. Thank you for reading. You're meant,
Thank you.
but
Thank you.
so well, we love listening to you. I just want to tell you that.
Thank you so much, Murlaji. All right. So
Thank
namaste,
you.
friends.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.